Hey there, I'm Daniel McFadin, and I have no idea what I'm doing. That's a horrible intro, but it's the intro I got for you. This is the first episode of what's to become my new NASCAR-themed YouTube show, Dropping the Hammer. You might know me from 6 years as a writer for NBC Sports covering NASCAR. That journey ended last October when I was unfortunately laid off, but here we are, November, December, 3 months later, and I'm back, hopefully, in some capacity to bring you a perspective on the NASCAR world that is a mixture of my professional skills that I've gleaned over the last 10 years and also the last 6 years at NBC Sports and my quarter of a century of being a NASCAR fan. Quarter of a century, you may ask. Yes, quarter of a century. My first race that I went to was the inaugural Cup race at Texas in 1997.
Texas Motor Speedway, opening day. Interstate batteries 500. 150,000 seats sold. 194 suites filled.
My dad and I were sitting right about here. And I've been in love with the sport ever since. And it was the source of my daily income for 6 years until 3 months ago. So what I'm hoping this is going to become is hopefully like a news analysis show, a interview show, and just something that I could give my perspective on the sport a couple of times a week, maybe interview drivers, other people in the industry, hope maybe using leftovers and stuff from interviews that I do for other platforms or just exclusively for here. I hope this turns into something interesting that you enjoy. I got an actual episode of the show coming up here pretty soon where I interview Daniel Suarez, the new driver for the new team, Trackhouse Racing, which is owned by Justin Marks. It's an interview that I did with Daniel. Hey, his name's Daniel too. How about that? That I did with him early last month. This is you'll be hearing leftover material that I had for an interview I did for a story that will appear in Speed Sport magazine next month. That's a freelance gig I was able to secure. And so I had too much stuff that couldn't go into a 1,500-word story. And I'm hoping that the material that I can bring you is something that you'll enjoy. So yes, that'll be the official first episode of Dropping the Hammer, which, if you didn't know, is a reference to the 1990 film Days of Thunder.
I'm dropping the hammer.
No, you're not.
The best, as far as I'm concerned, NASCAR-themed movie that's ever been produced. I'm Daniel McFadin, and this is the end of your prelude to Dropping the Hammer.